Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we're discussing a lovely late 90s design from a classical era at Zenith of Luluc, Switzerland. This is the Zenith Class Elite Réserve de Marche, a timepiece 37 millimeters in diameter, in rose gold. It is 9.3 millimeters thick, and it is only 45.5 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. In spite of its simplicity, it features a Grandiose full deployant clasp of thick gauge gold. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and then pull it tight just so you can get a sense of how it fits. Very flat. It'll slide underneath the cuff. It's also narrow across the wrist, which you can see well down the barrel, but also across the top. As these lugs come nowhere near the edge of my wrist, I could recommend this for a man, a woman, a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. The strap is pulling my wrist a little bit tighter than it should because it's still prior to break-in. It's a brand new factory strap. It's stiff now, but will soften up with time. Bolstered down its center to add volume. It's a large rectangular scale alligator leather, black high gloss finish. And you could see that these are large symmetrical scales. Large rectangular symmetrical scales are expensive, befitting a watch of this stature. And then we have in profile a sheer cut side showing the layers of leather, a monotone stitch. You can appreciate that this is a Zenith factory strap with calfskin on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging. The clasp attaches it to the opposite side. The idea of a deployant clasp is it creates a loop, making it harder to drop your watch. It features an upscale refinement that I will deploy for you right now. It's a little bit difficult because I don't have the fingernails I would like to have, given the manicures I do for these videos, but there is a clamshell lock that locks the strap into the buckle. Once it has been pinned on the pin, this lock closes and it prevents the strap from pulling through even under the most adverse and violent circumstances. This is the kind of thing you see on the very highest end clasps from Longa, and it's impressive to see it on a clasp for a Zenith Elite. Now, taking a look, you can see internally all of the gold is very thick gauge. This is not a thin piece of stamped metal. It has a lot of weight to it, and it's double deployant, so it'll work better on a small wrist. You can see the teardrop profile to the buckle itself, and then we have lovely arcing, fine, one might even say vintage evocative lugs. Back before watches were huge, it was possible to extend the lugs beautifully without running over the edge of the wrist. You could have bigger lugs because you had a smaller case, and this is from that school of thought. Everything's of high polish. You can see this is a 1990s Zenith design because of the presence of the older star logo on the crown, and then we have a conical bezel with a little bit of a vertical lip, a very small vertical lip, and then a lightly cambered sapphire over a silver dial. And you can see that we have a sort of cross-hatching pattern at center. There's a rayon pattern for the power reserve, as well as the small seconds. And you can also see that there's a dental pattern that runs inboard on each. Now, the watch is an automatic winder with a 50 to 52-hour power reserve. If you want, because it does have power reserve, and it's always fun to see your complications in action, you can wind manually and then watch the power reserve indicator move. Now, the watch also features a hacking or stop seconds function, so you can set it to the time of reference. And then one quirky feature of the Zenith Elite has always been that it has a quick set, and that quick set works in both directions, so you can turn it forward or backwards for easier quick setting. The hands at center are faceted for better contrast, and then we have these raised and polished rose gold indices and numerals outboard. Turn it all over. Inside we have a Zenith caliber, and if you're wondering which Zenith caliber, you always know because it's in the reference number. It's the 685 Elite. First feature that really catches my eye is the rotor, which features satination, guilloche, the old 90s Zenith Star logo, and then beveling on its edges. It's also made of 22 karat gold, not 21, not 18. They went with the densest gold typically used in watchmaking, 22, for better winding efficiency. It's a unidirectional winder, unlike the traditional El Primero, which is a bidirectional winder. Again, 50 to 52-hour power reserve, 4 hertz beat rate, all of this pivoting on 38 joules. And while principally mechanically finished, the rotor itself is hand finished. The rest of the movement is mechanically finished, but neatly so and attractively. All of this water resistant down to 30 meters. If you love this watch, reach out to me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.